Hello the folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome back to part 6 of Season 7 of Conquering the Euro on Football Manager 2021. And today we host Burnley in a 4th round FA Cup tie before hosting Bournemouth in the Premier League. And it's an episode that maybe you wouldn't be expecting to be bought today because they're two matches that should be wins. And we've been on a very good run. You can see that, I mean, to our credit, we were doing poorly, but we're now in 5th place. We're 12 points off Man United, so I think title's very much over again. But we're only 6 points off second. Again, I don't want to do an Arsenal with this club, but if we can finish 4th again, I'll take it. There's something that's just not quite going right, and I can't put my finger on it. I really can't. But before the last game, which we'll come on to in a swift moment, we were actually doing quite well. In the last episode, we had 2 defeats, but we got a decent draw against Man City. It was scrappy, but we got our first point in the league since that win against Reading, so I took that. We then followed that up by beating Brighton in the league, 2 goals for Josh Hope, great performance there. And we beat Blackburn 4-1 in the FA Cup. Then we followed that up by 3 wins in the first 3 games of 2021. Exactly what I was saying. We went and beat Norwich, Southampton, Sheffield United, the teams that we should have been beating. And then I made the classic mistake. I probably actually did all of those games, these 6 games here, yesterday, which I'm recording this a hell of a lot, probably about a week in advance now, but I was playing those games before watching the Liverpool-Man United game. Shut up in the corner. And it's now Monday, so the day after, and I've come back on, and surprise, surprise, we get absolutely pummeled. It was the strangest of performances ever. It really was. I'll show you the side that turned up. It's not like we put up a weakened side. Yes, there was 1 change in Josh Hope. That was it. We had 1 shot. 1 shot all match. And it took us 75 minutes to get there. I think the worst thing was, I could have took losing 3-0, I guess, but conceding 2 in the last 2 minutes of the game. I just really hope that was a blip. And that's why I've come back today, because if we don't go and beat these 2 clubs, then there is something very, very, very badly going wrong. We are in the 4th round of the FA Cup. We've got Burnley, who are now in the Championship. They haven't got a manager, according to this. Let's have a quick butchers at managers. For some reason, the Burnley manager hasn't been tracked since 2024, which is odd, because you've got the Wolves manager here, Derby County, West... Oh, no, there isn't one for West Ham, so that's weird. Very bizarre. And it's on a postcard on that one, folks. But we are taking on Burnley today. I will just show you our new signing because we have shown him before, but he has finally come into the club now at the start of January. Michelangelo Messina, not that one. Not that Michelangelo, but he's a pretty special player, you could argue. We've got some really good stats here that allow you to be a defensive midfielder, and I think that's what we need. We need a player to help the defence out. We have been struggling defensively this year. Luckily, Messina didn't play in that Watford game, or else I'd have been pretty embarrassed. But he looks a good player and definitely bolsters the midfield. And we've also brought in a young kid, Dominic Meyer, and this is going to mess with the head so much because we've got Pat Meyer in the defence, M-A-H-E-R. We've got Dominic Meyer, M-A-I-E-R, who is also a central midfielder, attacking midfielder, and centre-back. I mean, centre-back is where we're going to play him most, but I thought this was a bargain. If anything, he's a profit player. £1.3 million, 2-star rating, potentially become a 3-star player. Some good attributes there. He's played in the Championship, played 81 times for RB Leipzig. You're not a terrible player if you get in that side. And he was just transfer listed, so a player very much either for the future, as I say, as a profit player. And Viviani has also left the club. He's gone to Angers for £5 million. And also, another player who is heading out in the future, can we have a look at future transfers? Who can? Is Alex Iwobi, unfortunately. He didn't sign a new contract with us. He's going to Sampdoria. And one of the reasons I offered him a new contract, he wanted $150,000 a week. He accepted 90 with Sampdoria, which says to me that he was bumping up his price to try it on, but wasn't really interested in staying. So, great player, been a great servant to Everton and has played nearly 300 matches. But I guess, everyone's time comes up in the end. If we look at the squad depth, he's not top in any of these positions anymore. In fact, he's not even in the top 5 of any of these positions before. But his versatility is crucial. And the reason he's not in that there is because we have hidden players for future transfers out. So ignore that. He's not at the top of any of his leagues, this list, is effectively what I'm saying. He's third for attacking midfield on the left and fourth in the middle. We'll miss him. We will, but we've got some good options. So for today's match against Burnley, you're going to roll your eyes here and think you're going to make the same mistake again. We are playing a few kids. Eddie Williams plays at right back. Another decent player. Looks like he could become a first team player in the future. Michael TL plays at left back, and he just seems to be our cup player. I like to play him in the cups, and he's a pretty decent player when he has played for us. Lawrence and Taylor in the midfield. Then the attack is really as you would expect. We've rested Vandenberg and Alex Iwobi. We haven't technically rested Iwobi because Iwobi is at the African Cup of Nations, which is good practice. This, for knowing when we're not going to have him, of course, next season. Don't recognise any of those players for Burnley now. We're obviously nearly 8 to 9, 10 years on. I have said just there to get out there and show the world what it takes, because if we don't beat Burnley today, I just can't really describe the match against Watford. We've had one too many of those this year. It's not been too bad. I just honestly think that Man United are too good. And if you're striving to be as good as Man United, you're going to struggle to get there. They are just so overpowered, it's unbelievable. I think they're going to romp quite easily to their 4th league victory in a row. But if we lose against Burnley, there's not really much excuse. We're striving for brilliance and then we get beat by a championship club, but go figure. But we will be helped by the fact we're at home today. We always do well in front of the home crowd, generally speaking. And let's see if we can keep that going today. Nelson, good ball into the box. Hamilton Sierra's shot gets blocked. Lawrence, Satona, back to Lawrence. It's decent movement around the box, but actually leads to nothing. 5 shots, 3 on target. It's not a bad start, but it's not the most exciting of football matches, admittedly. The one thing I don't want, because now we've got the Champions League coming again, I don't want to replay. That being said, I do want to win this football match because the FA Cup has not been our friend since we've been at Everton. I think this is probably the furthest we've got to. I can't remember getting to the 5th round, I have to say. But a good goal for Reiss Nelson. That's his 10th for the season, a player that I haven't spoken about a lot this year. Because the first full year we did here, Reiss Nelson got 20 goals for us. And then Robin Vandenberg signed, and he became more of a winger than a striker. You could see he had an absolute stinker against Watford of 5.6. Surely he's never had a rating as low as that for me. I mean, we're looking pretty good to go and win this match now. Josh Hope with his 5th goal of the season. There's no doubt when we're on our game, we can do it up front. We definitely can do it up front. We've got a lot of different goal scorers. You could name 6, 7 or even 8 players, and we've got a few players in the reserves that could live up to that as well. But very nearly 3-0 at half-time. I think at 3-0 it's game over. 2-0, you have to say we've got a very good chance of it being over. And we might look in the second half to rest maybe the likes of Sierra, perhaps Nelson. I guess Nelson more than anyone because he's probably the oldest player in this side, apart from Pickford, of course. Man City 3-0 up against Arsenal. That's an interesting result because Arsenal are actually doing pretty well this year. And I say that for anybody watching this, and this is your, one of the first videos, Arsenal were actually relegated. So that's how I'm surprised that they're all the way up there. Lovely ball from Satona in the box, and Reiss Nelson heads it just wide. I am going to bring Nelson off, not for that. I'm not that cruel to him, but just to give him a rest, ultimately. The problem is, I guess we put Taylor out on the right. He's not a great player there, but it's the best we can do. We'll put Messina on, see what he can do as a defensive player. And we are also going to bring on... We'll bring Bernard on. He's one of our youngsters. He's a backup player. We've got half an hour to go in. Let's just see if he can shine and produce something different. Interesting dynamic this will be because we've changed both of the wingers. So I wonder whether the service into the box will change. I've just seen Fulham are 2-1 up against Liverpool, which is incredibly awesome. But a few minutes to go here. It should be game over. Good game. I mean, look at that. Look at that. I swear, every time Michael TL plays, he plays phenomenally well. 7.6. For a left-back, I know this sounds ridiculous, but against Burnley, that type of position, you wouldn't be expecting to get that higher rating, so he obviously does something that's very good. We do have Juan Larios as our first choice, but I think it might be worth playing TL there a few times. I really do. I think he is good enough to cut it in the league. Whether he's a championship player is debatable, but he's done a fantastic job here. He's going to get man of the match, apart from Sierra. Good ball from Bernard, but doesn't quite make it to Josh Hope, who again, another youth player who's done well for us. Sierra with a lovely shot from 25 yards out, and he definitely finishes it now. 3-0 to the Ev, and panic over. It's not quite panic over, I understand that, but you know, it's a good confidence boost to go and put a few past Burnley. Shows we can score, and equally we can defend, even if it's not our strongest back three. So we'll take that. Good result. Great performance from Hamilton Sierra, an 8.5. TL ends up with an 8 out of 10. Fantastic from him. And outstretched arms. That was a good win. Really good stuff. But it's great going and winning in the Cup. We've got to go and win in the League ultimately. Any big shocks? Liverpool going out has to be one. Apart from that, I can't see anything big. Wickham beat Birmingham. I don't know where Wickham are though. They're in League 1, so I guess that might be a bit of a surprise, but Birmingham might be in League 1 as well. That's the first time Eddie Williams has played. You wouldn't know it. And that's a credit to him because he actually played pretty well, which is great. So next up, we've got a game against Bournemouth. Bournemouth are 18th in the Premier League. This is a game that should scream victory, particularly at home. But after that game against Watford, I have no clue what to expect. Well, we're missing 2 of our players today, but I don't think it makes much of a difference. We are missing Diego Almeida, who didn't have an injury as such, but for some reason is shattered. I suppose because he played the game against Burnley, which didn't help. So Pat Meyer plays alongside Ben Godfrey, who returns to the side. We've got Messina in midfield, but the player we are missing, of course, and have been missing for a little while now, is Lorenzo. And I think that going forward, Sakaria comes out and Lorenzo goes to that position there. Sierra attacking midfield. And I think this is pretty much our full strength side. Whether we need another defender, I'm not sure. Whether we have another right back. I mean, I think Livramento certainly does a job, but doesn't really shine out at being anything but just a consistent fullback. I think if we bring somebody in who's doing a really solid job, getting sort of 7 out of 10, that'd be great. But he does a decent job, does Livramento. You watch him give away a stupid penalty. I guess the one thing we could do with, and you know, you have to say we haven't spent much money since we've been at Everton. I know we spent the big money on Robin van den Berg. Of course, we spent 90 million on him. But apart from that, I think we've sort of spent maybe 20 million as our maximum. The likes of Sierra. Sierra was a free transfer. Satona was about 8 million. Livramento was free. Meyer was a couple of million. Again, Almeida was about 20 million. We've not really spent big on anyone. And perhaps this summer it might just be time this summer for a big signing, who knows? And I had a funny feeling about Bournemouth. I did. I had a funny feeling about him. Zidane was there before. I presume he's been sacked due to their form now. But this is shocking from Larios. Completely forced to sleep there. We've been dominating the football match, which is what winds me up. You know, we've been doing so well in terms of the stats, and then we've got absolutely nothing to show for it. I think for certain if we lose this football match, we're really going to struggle to get top 4. We're 6 points behind Leeds in 4th, and all credit to Leeds, they've been brilliant. They really have. They've done really well this year, but the thing we've done in previous years, which we haven't done this year, is that, I mean, especially our first full year, I don't think we lost once to a side we shouldn't have lost to. You know, we didn't have any marks in our copybook, if you like, but this season we obviously got whooped against Watford last time out. We've dropped some pretty stupid points, and I think this would have to be one of the worst points dropped if we lose to Bournemouth today. And yeah, I don't know what to say. You can go from being a team which whoops teams and looks brilliant to a team that looks like they should, you know, be mid-table very, very quickly. And Vandenberg really should be getting that down. Really should be getting that down. 1-0 behind at half-time. Surprised me given we're at home. I thought we'd be doing a lot better than this at home, it has to be said. We've got some real star players in the side, but obviously it's just not clicking. There's something not clicking, and I don't know whether it was a bit of luck against the sides we beat and we went on a good run. I've got absolutely no idea, but this is concerning, really is. Arsenal are losing as well. They're losing 3-1 to Southampton, so a huge chance to take advantage. Chelsea and Watford drawing, so a huge chance. And look at our XG compared to Bournemouth. Bournemouth are obviously doing something right where we're not. We're going to bring Sam Atkinson on for Reece Nelson. That's about all we can do. That is the one problem with the side. We've got Iwobi away, and that'll become a permanent problem. We've got Lorenzo injured, and there's not really much apart from those main players to bring on an attacking sense. So it might be time, actually. I mean, we've still got about a week left in Jan. Whether it's time entering the transfer window for somebody this side of the window, I don't know. But if they ever make it 2-0, I might just cry. And they have as well. This is just incredible. 1.6 XG. And their XG is half. You know, yeah. I just don't know what you can do at this point. I really don't know. Good ball from Satona to Atkinson, and, well, you'd have thought the keeper would have stopped it from there, and he did. I can't believe I'm uttering these words, but for the first time, I'm feeling a little bit like Guardiola at Man City when things stop clicking a little bit. I know they're doing very well in the Premier League now in real life, but at the start of the year, things had just gone, and it's looking very similar for us here. And I don't know. I mean, based off this performance, you know, top 4 is going to be tricky. I guess with a goal here, no, can't even tell the game what to do. The fans are flooding out the ground. I don't blame them. The problem is, just look at that bench, and you know, it's shocking. It really is. That's not a good bench at all. We have got the most injuries in the league, but you know, it's hardly an excuse, for goodness sake. 18 shots, 8 on target, and 2 XG, and we've not scored, but we've conceded 2, and they've got an XG of 0.6. Figure that one out, because I'm at a loss. I really can't figure that out. But as I've been at, surely not 3-0, it is. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I am glad I come back today. Really am, because this is starting to look terrible. We very much start looking back rather than forward. And I really don't know for the first time whether we start to look for a move elsewhere. Because that was dreadful. I don't think it's the tactic. You know, it's not the tactic. I don't even think it's that. There's just something not right. Really something not right. Southampton beat Arsenal, which is a bit of a lifeline. But if you look behind us now, Sheffield United and Liverpool, if they win their games in hand, they go above us. We're safe. I mean, we're not really, actually. If you look at Man City, they've got 2 in hand. And the next match is against Liverpool. So, you know, lose that one. I mean, yeah, below expectations. I guess they're on about Bournemouth there. The only solace, I guess, from the point of view of the club is that they're quite happy. They want us to qualify for the Europa League, so that they're quite content with that. I really don't know what we do. I guess we've still got the Champions League. I can't see if we can't beat Bournemouth and Watford, then we're definitely not going to do anything in the Champions League. But things can change, and a sea of green can turn into a sea of red very quickly, and vice versa. But if you look at the table, Premier League's over. We're 12 points adrift of Man United with a game in hand for them. So that's 15 points in effect. So the league's over for us. Again, we can try and get top 4 with a good end of season run. But this was the run that we really needed to win games. And we did at the start. We beat Brighton, Norwich, Southampton and Sheffield United. But those last 2 games are really worrying. And now we've got a big run starting. Liverpool, Fulham. You know, if we don't beat Fulham, I feel like resigning. Tottenham and then Man United. And then the end of the season isn't easy at all. So it's going to be a tough end to this campaign. If we look at, you know, what's available around the world, the truth is at the moment there's not a lot. And this isn't a World Cup year either, so that doesn't help us. I feel like if we are to go somewhere next, we need to step up. Because if we go to another Everton, you know, somebody like, I don't know, Schalke, somebody like that, this is going to get very hard. The hardest thing about this challenge, I think, is winning our first league. We're struggling to do it with Everton. You know, it begs the question, have we took this club as far as we can? Answer on a postcard. But things can change very quickly with a few games won, can't it? Can definitely start to be some magic. But what concerns me is we can score the goals, but we haven't got it at the back at the moment. If you enjoyed that though, make sure to leave a like down below, comment your thoughts as well, and subscribe for regular Football Manager 2021 content. I've been TIJ Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next video of mine. Goodbye for now.